everyone, let's do some empties. I have in front of me so much skincare trash that I'm so excited to get rid of this. The last time that I did an empties was about 9 months ago, and I've been saving everything since then, and I'm so ready to toss some stuff. Now, a lot of things I actually have multiples, and I only saved one. Some things I actually saved several of them, but anytime that I knew I was reusing something over and over, I tossed all of the extras because I did not want to save that much trash. If you're new here, my name is Penny. I am a master esthetician. I'm a skincare junkie, so empties to me is one of those things where if I actually go all the way through something, and if I go through something year after year, to me it is a stellar product. So we have some of those today. I do hope that you will consider subscribing before you go. Check the description box where I link all my other socials, and join the skincare fam. Okay, let's get into it here. Let's start with cleansers. I this year discovered the PSA Reset. Actually, that came right after the Allies of Skin Molecular Silk Amino Hydrating Cleanser. So this one is, I don't know, like 40 bucks. And I got this because I saw Susan Yara using it on Instagram, and she talked about how much she loved it. And so I picked it up, and indeed I loved it as well. And I went through a couple of these before I realized that Allies of Skin also has a kind of more affordable brand called PSA. And so I started checking out some of their products as well. Really, I was thinking about doing kind of an affordable alternatives video for people who wanted to try Allies of Skin but didn't want to spend that much money, because a lot of the PSA stuff is kind of similar. I mean, and I think they must have intended to do it that way. Anyway, I got hooked on this Reset Cleanser, and so I quit buying the Silk Amino Cleanser and just continued to buy this. I've gone through so many of these. This and one other cleanser are hands down my favorite cleansers right now, and were for the majority of last year. So much so that I have another one that I'm using right now, and then they recently had a sale and I bought 2 backups. So it is one of those cleansers that I love, love, love. Now, what it has in it is it has honey. It has Manuka honey in there, and it is kind of a gel cream cleanser, not all the way to gel, but not all the way to cream. You really can feel like you get all of your makeup, everything off. I can use this as a first and second cleanse and feel like my skin feels really good. The other thing is there's something about the scent, which has to be from maybe the Manuka honey, or I mean, it's a natural scent, but it is so pleasant. It is like aromatherapy. It's very foody without being cloying or gross. It is just gorgeous. It is a really, really great cleanser. I honestly cannot see being without this. I wish they made it in a bigger size, honestly. So that is the PSA Reset, one of my favorite things of the entire year. The other cleanser that I used 3/4 of the year is by OneSkin. As soon as they launched this, actually I was using this before they launched it. They sent one to me to test out for a little while ahead of time. I fell in love with it. Immediately, my feedback to them before they launched was that it reminded me of the Is Clinical Cleansing Complex. That was my holy grail, ride or die favorite cleanser for years and years. I still like that cleanser a lot, but part of the reason why I like that cleanser, and the same reason why I like this cleanser, it's a thinner gel cleanser, thin-ish gel cleanser that does not leave my skin stripped, tight, dry, nothing. It just feels clean, but it feels really nice and clean without being dry or anything. There's no fragrance whatsoever, and it's just innocuous. It's one of those things where it just resets your skin without making you feel one way or the other. So I do obviously have another one that I'm already started to use. Another thing I wanted to mention about these OneSkin products, and products like this in general, is that when you get a product with a pump that comes with one of these little doodads that helps to keep the pump down, I would suggest before you get rid of, recycle, do whatever you're gonna do with the packaging, that you save these little guys. I tell you what, I have a little Ziploc bag of these, and they come in so handy when I have other pumps that they happen to fit, because a lot of them will fit multiple things for traveling. It's a really handy little guy to have around, so I will make sure I take that off, put it into the Ziploc, and keep it. Anytime I have something like that, I keep it in case it fits something else that I want to travel with. Just a little note to self. Okay, along the same cleansing lines is Clearista. I have loved this for probably 5 years. I never am without it. I go through one of them a year probably. It takes me a long time to go through it. I do have backups, of course. I have two. I literally have one in each of my showers is where I keep them. But I've gone through this. All it is, you guys, is a manual exfoliant, and it has biodegradable jojoba beads in it. But what's special about Clearista is a couple things. Number one, the gel, the retexturizing gel that those biodegradable jojoba esters beads sit in is, it is a keratolytic. It is an exfoliant in its own right. In fact, you could probably do away with the jojoba beads and just have the retexturizing gel, but I think the jojoba beads lend to that manual cleanse experience. It's very, very, very gentle. It is not, you know, you don't feel gritty or anything, but there's enough of those jojoba esters, those jojoba beads, that you feel like something is happening. I cannot stand a manual exfoliating gel that has just a splattering of beads in it, like just a few of them in there. It almost annoys me to use a product like that. In fact, I just got the Is Clinical Cleansing Complex exfoliant, and it's like that, and it was such a bummer because I was like, that's almost annoying to use. Like, the beads feel few and far between, and they almost feel like there's just some gunk in your product. This is packed with those, so when you put it on, it is full of those little beads, and they're very fine, and again, they're biodegradable, so they're not going into the ocean and hanging out or anything like that. But the gel works to break down, you know, flaky skin and the bonds that hold the dead skin on your face, so you really can get like a baby butt exfoliation. It's been a favorite literally for years. I've made videos on it like for years, and I love it. Moisturizers. I'll try and grab moisturizers. Dermatology, this is the water cream moisturizer. I started using this last year, I think right when they launched, I want to say. Anyway, this made it all the way through into the fall before I was finally through it, and I feel like I could cut it and maybe get a couple more, but I haven't done that yet. This is just a really lightweight, beautiful moisturizer. I love this moisturizer, especially in the summertime, and I also really like it when I'm wearing certain sunscreens that are a little bit more emollient, so that I'm not packing on a good like a heavier moisturizer and then an emollient sunscreen. So it's kind of this balance to keep my face from feeling too greasy, but not feeling dry and dehydrated. This, I feel like, hydrates the skin a bunch, moisturizes, looks great under makeup. It's beautiful, and it's huge, you guys. It's 3.77 fluid ounces. I only went through one, and I felt like I used this forever, and I definitely will repurchase this. I probably won't pick this up again until from like 2 more months, because it's kind of my early summer through mid-fall type of moisturizer that I like to use during the day. So that is the water cream moisturizer. This would be so great if you have oily skin, or if you have combo skin, or combo 2 oily skin. I think you might really, really like this as well, because I pile so much stuff on. This is perfect for me when I'm piling a bunch of stuff on, because it's lightweight, but it hydrates a bunch and doesn't leave any residue behind, and it's beautiful under makeup. So this is a big hit for me for sure. Will definitely be repurchasing. Okay, another moisturizer, if you will, that I went through is the OneSkin Face. Now, I actually went through a couple of these, and I am on to a new one. Now, this one is actually the refillable. So this was my last bottle of the ones that aren't refillable. And so I will try and recycle this. I'm sure that that's the intention. But now I am using this bottle of OneSkin, and it's nice because from now on, when I get my replenishment, what comes in the mail is this package right here, which is super duper cool. So in future empties, you're just gonna see this, you know, empty, and I will get to keep refilling this. I love that innovation so much. I think that it is really, it's just really thoughtful of the brand. So OneSkin, I have videos on this. Basically, they have a proprietary peptide in here that helps with senescent cells. So it helps to just clear, you know, or not clear, but it helps with those zombie cells, essentially. If you're interested, I will try and link some of my OneSkin, content, but it's a skin supplement. I literally use one single pump. I used to use like 4 pumps, and I did find when I used too much, I would pill. And so now I use one pump and I really try to just move, just skim the surface of my skin with it and truly try to be minimalistic with it. And then it goes a lot farther too. It's cool because in my Facebook group, this gets a little bit of chatter, and I absolutely love seeing people when they post about the OneSkin and the results that they get and everything. It's really pretty cool to see some of the women that just really are reporting some amazing results. If you're not part of my Facebook group, you should really consider joining. It is a great place to get lots of different reviews, and they don't always agree with my reviews. And so it's just a really nice forum for people to discuss what their skin has experienced and, all of those things, and get some objectivity. I love it. I love hearing other people's point of view because, of course, I will formulate an opinion about something and it gets pretty solid, but I like to hear what other people have to say, other people in other age groups, etc. I really do think it's a really magical place to get a lot of perspective. So definitely consider joining if you haven't already. Anyway, that is OneSkin Face. It is still top of the list for me, and I love it, and I use it every day. Okay, so now OneSkin, also the body product. This is also something that I went through a few of these this year, and I do have another one sitting here. I actually keep one in my bathroom, and then when I get down to the bottom of another one, I have this whole rotation. I have one sitting on my desk because all day long I will put like a little bit on my arms if I've forgotten, if I didn't shower in the morning. So I kind of try to keep it like in sight so that I won't forget, because the body scan, I've said this so many times, it's just easy to kind of forget. Like I don't know, we're so conditioned to work here that a lot of times we forget. And at least the place that's exposed, I like to try and treat daily. This is another one, you guys, that has the little doodad here that I really recommend that you save. And the other thing I want to tell you about the OneSkin, or any lotion, but especially the OneSkin, I haven't done it yet, but I'm going to, with this one, I'm going to actually add a little bit of an essence to the bottle because I know that there's a little bit of residual lotion in here. I'm going to shake it and shake it and shake it, and I'm going to have a body serum for probably another week because I know that there's just a little tiny bit of lotion left in there. I was thinking that I might actually add my Manio Bifida. I actually bought this. This is not an empty. I just have it here because I'm using it also with my 7 Skins method on my hands during the day. It's a mist. If you haven't seen that video, I don't know if it's going to be posted yet or not, but I'm doing 7 Skins on my face, neck, and hands, and this is part of that. Anyway. This I also have in the large size, like a refillable. And so I was thinking I might dump just a little bit in here and really shake it and, emulsify the leftover, just the residue that's in here along with this, and then use it as a body serum just to get the very, very last of this. So that's another little, I don't know, maybe you might want to try that too. Just good to the last drop kind of thing. So that is the OneSkin body. Again, another one that I absolutely love. In fact, there was a person in my Facebook group just this week or last week who was showing results on her arms, and she was talking about how she's really gotten some great results on her crepiness of her arms. And that is something that as I get older, I'm noticing more and more is crepey skin, like right here on my arms. And anyway, it's really cool to see some of the feedback in the group, and that was one of them that is inspiring to me and made me be like, don't forget your OneSkin on your arms. Anyway, this one is a good one. Evie. This is something I don't talk about a ton on my channel, even though I use it all summer long. And the reason I don't talk about it a ton on my channel is it's really hard to get in the United States, but you can get it at a website called If So Go. The problem is you have to buy it in bulk. You have to buy like 6 cans at once, which is what I do. And I usually do that in the late spring going into the summer. And this is the Evie SPF of 30. It's a mousse and it is a long lasting sunscreen. I love it. There is absolutely no doubt in my mind that my hyperpigmentation did not take as my skin didn't take as much of a hit this last summer, even though we were boating, we were doing all of the things, because I was really diligent with the Evie. I've told the story before how I coated my kids in this one time when we were camping 2 summers ago, and my son, who has my skin and he burns very easily, he went on a very, very long bike ride with his grandparents, and I had coated him in Evie, and he came back 6 hours later and he didn't even have a hint of pink, which is unheard of for my kids, for that kid in particular. So this is the most incredible long-lasting sunscreen ever. And if you live in the UK or you live somewhere where this is easier to get your hands on, lucky you, but this is so good. If you are battling hyperpigmentation, I cannot recommend this enough. It is so, so good. I would say it's pretty emollient. So if you have oily skin or you're acne prone, you may not like it. You may want to just try one can and not buy multiples. But for my dry skin, I adore it. I absolutely adore it. So that is the Evie. And this is one of those that I like to pair with the water cream moisturizer. Because this is more emollient, I don't like to put on a heavy moisturizer or anything before I put this on, or it's just too much. So this was like a match made in heaven over the summer. This one I will show you guys. I have so many of them. I know I even have more. And then I wanted to show you too, I actually also have it. These are the ones that I get for the body and for the kids. Like I have this one for the kids, and honestly I don't really know the difference. They made the can look like it's for kids and it's bigger. And then I also have the SPF 50 for the body, and I'm not really sure the difference between the kids and that one, but I use them both on all of us, on our, you know, everything down. Probably could use that on my face too, but since it says it's for the body, I use it on the body. They have an SPF 50 for the face. I actually have that as well, and that's what I use when we would go boating or anytime we were going to be out in the sun a little bit longer. But I got to tell you, the SPF 30, because it's long lasting, I found it to be really, really adequate during the summer, just on a normal day when you're going to be just incidentally out and about and that kind of thing. It was great. So again, that is a huge favorite, and I highly, highly recommend it. And if you live somewhere where it's easy to get, you are so lucky. Okay, another sunscreen that I went through is the Dermatology Universal Tinted Moisturizer. This one and one other are my two favorite year-round go-to tinted sunscreens. I'll just show you them both. It's this one and it's the Neova Silk Sheer. I went through a couple cans of this, probably two, and then I went through one tube of this. It takes me a really long time to get through this Neova, and I obviously have another one of the Dermatology, and I have another one of the Neova too. Yes, I do. Here it is. So I have a new one of the Neova. I have a new one of the or not new, but a backup ready to go. So the deal with these, you guys, is these are my two go-to sunscreens, like all the time, like in the summer, but also just all the time. The Dermatology, this one is kind of a neutral tint, and I would say it's good all the way up to maybe if you were medium to dark, but not, you know, like it probably would start to leave a cast if you are, you know, if you are really melanated. So because it is neutral, but there isn't really any white in there, but it is really, really beautiful for my light to medium skin. And when I get a little bit more tan, when I have some self tanner on in the summer, I still find it to be a really nice tone on my skin. It kind of disappears. No white cast whatsoever. It is a hybrid sunscreen. So this one is zinc and then it's octinoxate. It is so silky. It looks like it refines the pores, the Dermatology, and it is gorgeous under makeup. This is another one that I can actually wear the water cream moisturizer, and I can put this on over it. I can actually wear the needleless serum and then put this one on over it, and it's like this perfect balance of moisture, and it kind of refines the surface of the skin, and then it looks really great if I want to wear makeup. This has been a favorite now for so many years that I'm sure people are tired of me talking about it, but it's so, relatively speaking, it is so affordable, and it's so beautiful, and it's from such a great brand, and it's just such a good product at a good price that I will sing its praises forever. So I've gone through probably 2 of those bottles in since my last empties, and then I've gone through this 1 tube of the Neova, but remember we went through summer since the last time, and I'm crazy with sunscreen in the summer. This is the Silk Sheer 2.0 from Neova. It is gorgeous, you guys. It is such a good sunscreen. It's a little bit more of a peachy tint, like a pink peachy tint, but it just disappears into your skin. This is a tiny, tiny bit less glowy than the Dermatology, and this one comes in a tube with a pump, and it is seriously so pretty. I would say that if the Dermatology is too glowy for you, you might really like the Neova. What I love about this one is the broad spectrum 40, the dermatology is 46. This one is, it is all mineral, and this one has DNA repair enzymes in it, which is a really nice added protection from the sun, from UV damage and whatnot. So this is definitely my other, these have been my two favorite sunscreens for a couple years. I mean, like, this one's also been there for a couple years as well. You've probably seen it talked about before. So if you're looking for a great sunscreen, any of those that I just talked about, the Evi, the Dermatology, or the Neova, are just stellar sunscreens in my opinion. Okay, so let's move along. DNA repair enzymes. I went through another bottle of the Photozyme Youth Recovery, and I actually, when I finished this one, I am switching I've switched to Priori. I gave this one a shot. This is the DNA Recovery Serum from Priori. So here's the deal with this. The Photozyme is obviously a beautiful product. It has those DNA repair enzymes in it. It's very lightweight. It's very hydrating without being greasy or anything like that. It's a beautiful, beautiful product. Kind of more of a lotion serum than a true serum. The Priori I picked up, I want to say I picked it up when Skin Store was going to have a sale, and I just wanted to check it out. But the Priori is a similar kind of texture. It's a really, really lightweight serum, and I just find it to be really beautiful. It reminds me a lot of the Photozyme. It's a little bit less expensive, and I always have a discount code either through Skin Store, or I have a discount code now through Priori. So that one is an excellent option if you are considering DNA repair enzymes. So went through that and started using the Priori. I'm actually testing a bunch of stuff from Priori, so I'll be excited to bring you kind of a brand overview because they have some really innovative products. They use a lot of Q10 and superoxide dismutase, which are some of my favorite ingredients, antioxidant ingredients. This is the year of antioxidants as far as I'm concerned. So anyway, this one I'm excited to continue using and check out the rest of the brand. Speaking of antioxidants, I went through a couple of these Skin Iceland. This is the astaxanthin. Now, I probably went through 2 bottles of this, and I do have another bottle that I'm using now. This is my vitamin C alternative. This is an antioxidant. If you're not familiar with astaxanthin, I'm also doing a video on that. Not sure if that will have posted. If it has, I will link it down below. If it hasn't, watch out for it. But astaxanthin is a really profound antioxidant, and I love it for the skin. I find that astaxanthin tends to brighten my skin a little bit more than vitamin C. It is not irritating, and it actually performs better when exposed to light. So instead of breaking down like vitamin C does, astaxanthin actually gets better in the light. Astaxanthin is that pigment that gives a lot of sea creatures their color. It has to do with the food chain, and you know, the krill eat the algae and they're red, and then the creatures eat the krill and that turns them red. So that's why a lot of times you will see seahorses that are red, you will see lobster that are red, you will see salmon in, you know, obviously not in the ocean, but salmon might be in the ocean, but I think they're just freshwater. Anyway, salmon, they're pink. That's from astaxanthin. Anyway, it is a massive antioxidant. So it's really going to help protecting your cells from oxidative stress, but it also helps to brighten the skin like crazy. And this is just one of my favorites. I tested a bunch of different astaxanthin products, some that were super expensive, a couple $100s, and then some that were a little bit less expensive than this one. And this was the sweet spot for me. This one is in the $40 range, somewhere in the $40, and I find it to be perfection. I love the consistency of it. So if you look, this is the color that it comes out. Isn't that crazy? It's beautiful. I typically will apply this with my fulvic acid. So I will spray fulvic acid on my face, neck, and décolleté. I will spray a little bit of fulvic acid into my hand, and then I will put a drop of the astaxanthin, emulsify it quickly, and just use it everywhere. That spreads it everywhere, helps me get through less product, you know, go through it a little less fast. And I put it on the back of my hands and everything. I absolutely love it. So if you are in search of an antioxidant alternative to vitamin C, astaxanthin is definitely a really great alternative. This year I'm going to be exploring a lot of other antioxidants. We're going to talk about Q10. We're going to talk about more about astaxanthin. We're going to be talking a little bit more about superoxide dismutase. I feel like we should be I don't know. I'm in a moment of antioxidants. I feel like with the environment and with all of the aggressors on us, I feel like antioxidants should be our best friend, and they're underused. I mean, I feel like there's so much better than just vitamin C out there, and it's just a matter of discovering which ones work best for you. Also, I feel like a lot of these other options are more affordable. And so that's also a big plus. I mean, astaxanthin at $45, let's say, for a bottle that lasts me a couple months or 2 or 3 months is a lot more affordable than, you know, some of these vitamin C's that are a ridiculous amount of money. Anyway, so this is definitely a huge favorite. I've gone through a couple bottles. I will continue to always repurchase it, and I love it. We're getting down to the end of the major hits, you guys. So cysteamine. I started using cysteamine several months ago, and I've gone through a few of them. So I've gone through Ascente. I did not make it all the way through my Cispera. I ended up giving that one away. And the reason for that is that one has mineral oil in it. And I noticed that I used that one exclusively for like 1 or 2 weeks, and I started breaking out. And so apparently something in the original Cispera does not agree with my skin. I still think that it's a fantastic product because of the cysteamine, but I started, you know, when I realized that it was not, you know, agreeing with my skin, I ended up giving that away because I knew somebody needed to use that super expensive product. And I just switched to the Sente, and then I ordered the Skin RX, which also is 5% cysteamine. And so I kind of alternate between the two. I had a backup already of the Sente, and so that's the one that I'm working on right now. And then I actually have another box of the Sente that I ordered during like Black Friday or something. It was on super sale. I was able to get a big fat discount. So I have this backup. I will order the Skin RX again. I will tell you that my favorite of all of them is the Sente. I don't know why. Something about the consistency and everything. I like it the best, but I definitely will repurchase the Skin RX because it's like a third of the price. And I got that Sente on deep discount, but this one, even that on deep discount, I could still probably get 2, and you have to use it every single day. And I'm pretty generous. I put it on, you know, it's a mask, and then you remove it, and it's a pigment inhibitor, so it's helping to brighten the skin. You use it every day on dry skin, and so what I do is I get up first thing in the morning, I make coffee, and I put on my cysteamine, and I let it sit like a mask for usually 15 to 40 minutes now. Sometimes time gets away from me. I rinse it, I cleanse my skin, and usually that is when I will use an antioxidant of some sort, and I will do an LED treatment. And then I go on with my skincare routine. So it is kind of that is just my routine every single morning. And I love it because I get that dose of pigment inhibiting that's really brightening the skin. The first thing that I noticed in the brightening of the skin wasn't necessarily that the dark spots were lightening. It was the pink skin coming through. It was literally a different brightness to my skin that I hadn't seen in a really long time. And if you are getting older and you're noticing that your skin is getting more and more dull, there is multiple things contributing to that dullness. Obviously, there could be some dryness going on, some dehydration, dark spots, of course, but something about the vitality of our skin and the lack of just that pink glow also starts, it's just, I think it's just aging a little bit. And this is helping to bring that back. That is one of the best things I've seen. I am noticing that my hyperpigmentation is getting a little bit better over time, but really it's just that glow, which is it keeping me using it on, and I will continue to use it forever. I'll use it for a long time. It is safe to use long term, which is super cool because there are other pigment inhibitors like hydroquinone, for example, that you're supposed to cycle off of, and that's not the case for cysteamine. So yeah, I love it. I definitely love it. Dermatology needleless serum. I've gone through 2 of these, and I have another one. And I just love this, you guys. It is packed with nutrition for your skin, humectants for your skin. I've said this before, but if there was one single serum like this kind of multitasking serum that I could pick to keep forever, it would be this one. I feel like this one can almost replace in the summertime a moisturizer. I can use this if I put on, like, if I put one layer on and I put another light layer on and then I put on the Universal Tinted Moisturizer, it's like enough hydration for the summer, like the perfect amount. And usually I use my Sukiyaki Suhada first, and it's just this perfect amount of hydration. It doesn't leave me greasy or sticky or anything like that. It's got all kinds of amino acids and all kinds of good stuff in there. It's just a beautiful serum. It takes me a long time to go through one of these too. So I know it's not super inexpensive. It's not crazy expensive, but it's not super inexpensive. But it does take me a long time to go through it, and you don't need like a whole dropper full or anything like that. And if you apply this over an essence that isn't all the way dry, you really can make it go very, very far, and you'll get a lot longer out of your bottle. So if you haven't given this one a shot, it's totally worth it. I am an affiliate with Dermatology, a proud affiliate with Dermatology. I absolutely love them. I love the people. I love the products. I love them so much, and I do have a discount code, so you never have to pay full price with them either. That'll be down in the description box. This is like an all-time favorite, honestly. I've gone through so many of those over the years as well, including that Universal Tinted Moisturizer. I mean, just many, many, many of them. In fact, I've told this story before. I was talking about the Universal Tinted Moisturizer way before I was an affiliate with them, way before they knew anything about me, and all I knew is I loved this sunscreen, and I didn't even have a way to necessarily link it. I would just tell people to go and find Dermatology and check out this sunscreen. So it is one of those things that for sure has been a love for a lot longer than I've been an affiliate with Dermatology, but now I'm a proud affiliate with Dermatology because it is a brand that I am so happy to support. Last year, speaking of 2022, when my Instagram got hacked, it was actually Dermatology who stepped up, contacted me, and helped me get my Instagram account back. To this day, which I just finally surpassed the number where I was on my Instagram account when that happened, because I asked everybody to unfollow me because I didn't want them following the hacker people. I just finally got back to the number that, you know, where I was back then when that happened. But if it wasn't for Dermatology just going out of their way to email me and say, hey, maybe we can help you, you know, we know some people at Instagram, then I would still not have my Instagram account, which really isn't, in the scheme of things, a big deal. But again, it's just kind of, it's one of those things where when somebody goes out of their way to be nice to you when they don't have to, when nobody's looking, nobody's paying attention, that is insane. It is just, it's a touching, wonderful thing. So anyway, kudos to them. I will just be thankful to them and sing their praises as long as they keep making good products. And yeah. Anyway, okay, let's see, Revive. I've gone through another one of their ultimate serums. This is so good, you guys. This is the first bottle that I went through where they had just a single chamber. This one, I have another one coming, unfortunately. I always wait to the end of this because I can't tell where I am. I think I know how much is left and I'm not sure. And then I get down to the last and I'm like, oh no, and I have to reorder. Anyway, this is great. They did redo the packaging. It used to be 2 chambers. Now it's just 1. I think the reason why I like this so much is because it has arbutin in it, and it has arbutin way up on the list, and that is a pigment inhibitor. And I just find that my skin likes this product a lot. I feel like it hydrates my skin. It has so many good ingredients in it, so many cell communicating ingredients, pigment inhibitors, nourishing ingredients. It's feeding the skin, and my skin just looks better when I'm using this on a regular basis. So this has been in my empties. It's been in my favorites. It's been in my routines for years, and it will continue to be. So that is the Revive Serums, the Ultimate Serum. I went through an Isntree TW Real, and I do have a backup that I will use. I use this just kind of, this is kind of when I need a little bit of extra hydration. It's Bifida, and this was kind of one of my affordable alternatives to the Estee Lauder Advanced Night Repair, only because it's got Bifida in it. It's not really the same as that, but I love, love, love this serum. This is one of those serums that I do feel like also adds a little bit of UV protection. It brightens the skin and it hydrates the skin. So this is another one of those serums, kind of like my needleless serum, that is an all-time favorite serum. I mean, I only have probably 3 or 4 serums that I will rebuy and rebuy and rebuy. And this, there's 3. Needleless serum, this one, and this one, which is my iUnique Beta Glucan. So I went through 1 bottle of the iUnique Beta Glucan. So 1 bottle each over 9 months is not too bad. I mean, that means that it lasted a long time. So I went through 2 bottles of my Dermatology Needleless, 1 bottle of my Beta Glucan, and 1 bottle of my TW Real in 9 months. So that's not that bad actually, as far as like, you know, having to rebuy stuff. And I know I have another, yeah, I do. I have another of my Beta Glucan that I'm already using, and I have that other TW Real that I'm already using, and now I can finally toss these. So those are the Beta Glucan. Beta Glucan is just a really soothing, it can help with redness. It's a humectant. So if you do not like hyaluronic acid, you may like Beta Glucan. It's a great alternative to that for just a hydrating serum. If you have dry skin and you just want to add in another layer of hydration, Beta Glucan. This also has sodium PCA in it, which is another humectant, and it's just, that's the serum. It's pretty simple, and it's really, really effective as far as soothing hydration is concerned. This one, I definitely do think less is more, and it's really, really good mixed with fulvic acid, because then you don't get sticky. Sometimes people will tell me they feel it sticky. I don't personally feel it sticky, but I apply mine with a lot of fulvic and my Sukiyaka Suhada, and I kind of thin out a lot of things as I go. So I would highly recommend thinking about adding in fulvic acid with your serums to make them even more spreadable, lightweight, and absorbable. So that is the Beta Glucan. I think that that is all of my skincare empties. I'm sure that along the way I accidentally threw out a thing or two without saving them, because that is such a weird thing to do. If you aren't, you know, like, saving your trash is, it's still hard to get used to doing. I'm so excited to be able to finally, you know, move along all of this stuff. I hope you guys are having a really wonderful day. If you have any questions about anything that we talked about here today, definitely leave them down below. If nothing else, I hope that you learned something about some ingredient decks, or something about what someone like me, who really has access to a lot of things, the things that I will reuse over and over and over, to me says a lot. Let me know in the comment section something that you repurchase over and over and over, and why. I would love to know. I have gotten so many fantastic recommendations from you, from the people in my Facebook group. It's incredible. So I appreciate your recommendations as much as you may appreciate mine. I do hope that you are having a really wonderful day. Thank you for listening to me ramble about my trash, and I will talk to you in my next skincare video. Take care.